one, and we're live.
We are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Rattle the Cage. And what a wonderful world that we live in, huh?
Oh, what a wonderful world.
Oh my God.
You're damn right. Yes.
I was going to start singing the song first, but I was like, you know what? If I mention it, he's going to sing this song, so fuck it. Let him do it.
You know, I see death and disease and riots too. I see people dying, they ain't got a clue, and I think to myself, what is wrong with this world? No, mate, let's get into it. What is wrong with this fucking world, dude?
There's a lot of things wrong with this world right now. Where to start is the question. We could start off with our precious wrestling business. I know we didn't want to make this a part of the show, but we have to, just because of how things are happening right now. It's, to me, I think it's kind of ridiculous. I think people are taking advantage of situations, and we've talked about this off air. But it's hard to disclaim some of these claims from people, especially when one person is accused 15 to 16 times. I mean, how do you feel about it? I'm talking about, what's his name there, Dick Flip guy, Joey Ryan.
All right, well, let's have it.
15 accusations. Crazy.
So let's have it right. We're talking about the speaking out movement in professional wrestling, yeah? Is what we're talking about here. This is just to let people in on that, yeah? So we're having a chat about this speaking out, and we are talking about the accusations that have been made, right?
Correct.
Now, I will say, yeah, there's accusations been made, and some of them very fucking true. They've got to be. We've seen it. They've got the evidence. Now, you have said to me that about falsely accused people and stuff like this, right? And we know it happens, yeah? We know it happens. We look at, was it Enzo Amore? Was he?
Perfect example.
Yeah?
Perfect example, yep.
Yeah.
Falsely accused, got fired before the evidence come out. He's still jobless. One of the best guys, whether you like him or not, one of the best, most entertaining individuals on the microphone, on wrestling television, no matter what brand it is. He's entertaining. You have to admit that. Okay, he's shit in the ring. We all know this. But to not have him signed to an organization over a false claim by some goddamn ring rat is a crime in of itself.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah, go on.
No, that's just my opinion. You could agree or disagree with that. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, no, he's been falsely accused, and exactly like you said. And like Jim Cornette, he got pulled up a few weeks ago by a disgruntled fan. It wasn't a genuine accusation, it was just some mental case. What about the Matt Riddle deal? Is that, him, his lawyer and his wife are all claiming that it's bullshit, that the woman is a stalker and a psychopath? Is that real?
Correct.
I don't know.
It is not real. The thing is this, and even before Matt Riddle was signed to the WWE on his developmental deal with NXT, he informed the company of this person before he even signed the contract. So the company already knew about this situation before he was signed. So again, when you look at the internet and you look at the media, they take a little something and make it into a big something, which was never anything in the first place, because the company was not going to do anything to Matt Riddle. They were never going to take him off TV. But what they did do is give some fucking piece of garbage, you know what I mean, a parasite, you know what I mean, a maggot, trying to live off somebody else's fame, live off somebody else's jealousy is a better word. They're jealous because this person is in this position where they think that they should be, or they thought they should be by his side, just because they have some type of hero worship, and it's stupid. And we've seen celebrities get killed because of people like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's true. Like, look at Selena. Look what happened to Selena. Do you remember that artist, that female pop artist, Hispanic?
Rings a bell.
Yeah, well, look it up and you'll know exactly. She was killed by the fucking person who ran her fan club.
Yeah.
Imagine that. right?
What?
And then there was a more recent incident of some fucking goofball like this. I guess I'm not familiar with the pop scene, obviously, but there was some YouTube star. She was a pop singer. She was doing a meet and greet and signing autographs, and one of her super fans that had a crush on her, it was a male, and the star was a female. So he goes up, he gets an autograph, and puts a fucking bullet in her head and kills her.
Yep. That's it. Well, often...
These are the type of people we're talking about, the speaking out movement. Come on, guys. You got to do your research.
Well, here's the thing, though, mate, right? You talk about that and you say, yeah, all right, so there may be some bullshit and there may be that. But there are some genuine fucking cases, some real cases. And I can tell you that I'm quite aware now because of things I've experienced but never gave two thoughts to, because you just don't in those situations that start to make sense. And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna get into accusations, I'm not gonna name names, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean, but there is stuff, right, that goes on, and it's not just the sexual abuse, it's the politics, it's the bullying, it's so much other stuff that goes on. It's not just females, there are males that are sexually abused or bullied. Like I'll give you an example, and again I won't name a name and I won't give you the promotion, but there is a British promotion quite local to me, and the owner has been called out for bullying a kid who joined his training school, but the kid was gay. So this kid's trying to do his thing, but all the time the promoter is going on at him about being gay and taking a piss out of him for being gay. And alright, whatever, that's what it is, but it's wrong, and it's bullying in that sense. And then when we get back to the accusations of the sexual abuse, because of the false allegations, do we then just turn around and go, well, we won't look into those allegations? You know? I don't think so. I think everything that is said, at least, has to be looked into. If someone is accused of something, if someone comes forward with a story, it needs to be looked into, because otherwise, you know, you get these people, I'm not going to say girls, because girls and boys, men and women, that are abused, sexually abused, mistreated, and they're scared of coming forward because people won't listen to them, won't believe them, because they say exactly what you're saying is, you know, and I'm not saying you believe that. I know you're middle ground on this.
May I interject? Interject?
Sure.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, it's because of these people that cry wolf, the people that are lying, that people are hesitant to listen to other claims. It's because of those people, those psychopaths that people. And again, I think it was Jim Cornette that said it himself, like, this type of stuff has been going on since the beginning. The beginning. Yeah. And it's not just against females, against males as well. Like, there's been plenty of accusations put forth against Pat Patterson. The most controversial one is that he did a little something to Roddy Piper. Imagine that. One of the greatest fucking superstars of all fucking time. One of the all-time greatest.
Yeah.
All right?
100%.
May have a fucking claim, or maybe he took that shit to his grave. Some people say he kind of hinted towards it in the end.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what eventually led to him, you know, passing on.
Possibly.
We'll never know now. But he took that, he may have possibly taken something like that to his grave. So this is nothing new. No. You know, so where was the hashtags, you know, speaking out? Why weren't people speaking out more back then, and why is it now? Is it because it's the cool thing to do?
It's because of social media. It's because we have social media. Because we have Twitter, because we have Facebook, because we have YouTube. Everybody, even us right now, we're sitting here on a podcast which is going to go out on various platforms, but we are just two people with an opinion saying what we think on the internet. Now,
that's right.
Our opinion may mean fuck all to anyone, but let's just say 2,000 people decided they like what we say and they agree with what we say, and then we got a point of view and we got an opinion. That 2,000 people start getting out on Twitter, they start getting out on Facebook, making their own YouTube videos, saying listen to this point of view, and that's what it is. The point of views are just Everybody's got one. Like, you know, like, what's the old saying? It's like an arsehole. Everyone's got an opinion. You know what I mean? Like,
correct.
You know what I mean?
Yep. It's like an asshole. Everybody's got one. Yep.
Yeah. That's it. So it's like, that's what is making it such a big thing now, but that's what's enabling people to come out and actually get some of this stuff out. And in a way, like, people say, wrestling's in a bad way, especially British wrestling. People are going, British wrestling's dead now. Why is it dead? Why is it dead? Are we not doing a better? Is this not cleaning it up? Are we not getting rid of the rapists, the abusers, the politicians, the plastic gangsters and the pimps? Because they all exist. There is a massive plastic gangster culture around British wrestling. And yes, some of them...
You would know more about that than me for sure, but, you know, I your word is gold to me, so...
Some of those guys, yep, I'd give them more legitimate gangster connections, if that's what you want to call it. But there's a lot of plastic gangsters. And it's kind of like, there was a guy that I'm not going to mention his name because he's been accused of raping a 15-year-old girl, which surprises me. Which surprises me because I always, from the day I met him till the day I found out he raped this girl or have been accused of it, I thought he was gay. But I'm not going to mention his name. But he once likened wrestling to the Godfather in Lycra or the Godfather in spandex. No, mate, it's not the Godfather. It is not the fucking Godfather. It's only Fools and Horses at best. And you might not know what that is. Well, it's a British TV show about a couple of like lads on the market selling dodgy gear. You know what I mean? It's plastic gangster stuff for the most of it. And you got the pimps. And I can tell you this from personal experience. I have booked wrestlers on my shows that have then come to me. We've agreed a price. We've agreed at the time. We've agreed the match. Everything sorted. They come back either to me or to my nephew and they say, we want another 50 quid on top. Why do you want that other 50 quid on top? Because the person that they trained with, the person that they generally wrestle in the promotion with, the owners of that promotion are essentially pimping the fuckers out, right? Saying, wait, you can use our wrestler, but you've got to pay us. You got to give us 50 quid. That 50 quid don't go to the wrestler, it goes in their pocket. Yeah?
What we call in the States extortion.
Exactly, right? So they are running rackets. They are running extortion rackets and stuff like that, yeah? But a lot of it is fucking plastic gangster stuff. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, like I said, there are some with legitimate, you would not fuck with them because they do shit. But then you get the fuckers that have just got money. Their mum and dad gave them the money to start up the promotion. You know what I mean? And their mum and dad run the business for the first fucking couple of years just to get them into it. You know what I mean? And then they use their mum and dad's money and whatever to go and pay people to rip posters down. You know, there's a charity.
Really?
Not one of my show. He didn't do it at my show. I doubt he fucking dared do it at my show, right? But he did. I'm not naming names, but he tried to contact the guy. He did contact the guy that was supplying the ring for my show, and he asked him not to turn up at my show. Yeah, and the geezer who was supplying the ring went, no, fuck that, he ain't, because he weren't going to do that to me. Yeah, but so it happens. Yeah, you got these guys. They think they're fucking gangsters. They think they're in the Godfather movie, and you know I love that, and I fucking play all the Godfather and the gangster shit up in stuff I do.
Sure
but I'm not a fucking gangster. I'm some fucking little crippled cunt sitting in a wheelchair. Do you know what I mean? I
Don't say it like that.
Yeah, but
I know what you mean. I get your point. There's a lot of corruption in the fucking wrestling business, and social media is not making it any better because the gist of it, what you're trying to say is like there are a lot of legitimate cases that are being, you know, put forth now because of the speak out thing. And my thing is like, why did you wait to speak out so long? If you were offended, you should have done something right away. And I see a lot of promoters like saying the same thing. Had they known they'd have done something. And you're seeing promotions like AEW now suspending Sammy Guevara. Well, I'm going to mention his name because it's public knowledge. Jimmy Havoc has been, put into rehab, I guess, and I guess it has something to do with this. Why he would be put in rehab because of a sexual fucking type of allegation, sexual assault or whatever it was. Yeah. I'm not even sure what the fuck the allegation was at this point. But it has to do something with that. But they put him in rehab instead. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. You know the man personally, so I'm not going to dive into it too much and pretend to know what his situation is. I'm not going to do that. That'd be disrespectful. So I'm not going to fucking do that. Well, but you see these names, but people are fucking getting suspended and losing their jobs. We got Tessa Blanchard fucking got fired, but I guess that was a formality. But the excuse was because of allegations due to racial type of stuff. And Michael Elgin got fired as well due to supposedly he had a fight with Sami Callihan. I don't think it's about that. I'm pretty sure it was like maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, he was accused of sexual misconduct against a female. Yeah. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so Impact Wrestling has let him go as well. They're just doing damage control at this point as far as situations like that go, because you hear conflicting stories, but what are we supposed to believe? Because the power that is social media can basically brainwash you into thinking a certain way against your will. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I look at stuff, and it's like, when I look at it on face value, I'm like, alright, that makes sense, sort of thing. And then I'll look into it a bit more, and I'll make my own mind up. I don't listen to what one person or the other says. I'll look at both sides, and I'll go, well, I always do everything scientifically, right? And that is to look at
this is very true.
Is to look at common elements.
This is where he and I part ways, by the way.
Yeah,
because I don't always do things fucking scientifically. I do things out of whim sometimes. So
yeah,
this is where Bert brings me back in and fucking enlightens me as to how fucking dumb I can be. So
mate, we can all be dumb, and I don't know the answers to fucking everything. You know what I mean? But I just
he knows a lot of answers. He's being modest.
But I don't know. I just look at things and I go, all right, what are the common factors here? What is repeated? What is common in both sides? What can you see that is happening again and again and again? And what is evidence for us? Do you know what I mean? And that's how I look at things. And I'm like I say, with this British wrestling thing, I look at it, and yes, I get the false allegations. I do. But at the same time, there is so much that is true. There is so, and I'm talking about, you're saying, why didn't they come forward earlier? Yeah? Well, a lot of it was to do out of fear of not being booked, because that is exactly what happens when they did come forward. I know a female wrestler, and I don't know whether I mentioned, well, she's publicly open about it. Her name's right? She's had trouble with a few wrestling promotions due to behind the scene politics, and the promoters have known about this stuff, and not just the politics but the sexual abuse and stuff like that, and the promoters have known about this. They haven't stopped the wrestlers wrestling on their show, and it's caused her problems when being booked on shows that she should have been booked on, but the wrestlers, and I'm not going to name names, but have caused her and talked to the promoters and told her not to be booked. So anyone speaking out at one point was in fear of not getting booked, and that was the way. So may
I ask? Can I interject real quick and ask you? So they're not booking her because she wouldn't provide favors for either promoters or other wrestlers that are in top positions.
It's more to do with the fact that the trainers had their own wrestlers that they wanted to push. Again, this is what I'm talking about.
So it goes that deep, like down at the ground level, like the grassroots.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, I've had trainers, right? I've booked people on my shows, right? And I've had trainers ask me not to book that person. I've had people booked or like semi-booked where I'm like, I want you to do the show, this.
So you wanted to book them, but then their trainer said, nah, don't book them.
The trainer said don't book them, or other wrestlers have said to me, if you book this person on your show, I'm not going to do your show. And I have said, well, you're not going to do my show then, because I don't do politics. Right? It's happened a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. There was a female wrestler on my show, and a guy said to me, if she's on there, I'm not going to do the show. And I went, well, you're not going to do the show then. And one of the trainers has said to me, look, I've got a couple of guys, can you use these guys instead? And the 2 guys I wanted to use are fucking fantastically entertaining. They don't wrestle anymore because of politics and all the other bullshit or whatever, and they may have been arseholes and difficult to work with in some places, but I never had a problem with either of those 2 guys, you know. But I was told not to book them, and to book these other 2 guys instead. And these other 2 guys are shit compared to these 2. Do you know what I mean? And I went, no, all right, fair enough. I didn't end up doing a 4th show, so I didn't end up booking anyone for that fucking show anyway. You know what I mean? But point being, I don't do politics, and I don't put up with that shit. Do you know what I mean? And I think that is what professional wrestling needs, not just in Britain but across the world, is for people to say no, fuck off. You know?
Yep. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Yep.
All right, so let's segue into something else here, because there's been a lot of allegations, not allegations, it's fact, that WWE's their protocol as it concerns COVID-19 is not doing so well, as basically, like 20 to 25 people on their employment list, I guess, whatever you would say it is, whatever, their employees have tested positive, and it's affecting other organizations, AEW in particular, with their world fucking champion can't even be on TV now because of this bullshit. How do we feel about this? Like, COVID-19, like, I can give my personal thoughts on it, but I want to hear what you think about it first, and how it's affecting the wrestling business and how it's affecting everybody's lives worldwide. Because we have conflicting opinions on this. We've talked about this many times.
We do. Well, as far as the wrestling business goes, it's obviously having a major impact because of the crowds not being able to go in. And this, alright, the WWE, AEW, big promotions, they can still do their stuff. They still get paid from TV. They still get paid from merchandise. They still get, their money here and there, like advertising on their websites, whatever. Yeah? British wrestling promotions, independent promotions, and not just British, you're talking about Japanese, you're talking about American promotions, but the indies are the ones that are suffering right now. The wrestlers that earn their money, this is their job, their full-time job. They don't have a day job. They wrestle 4 or 5 times a week, yeah? They're losing out big time right now, and there's not a lot we can fucking do about it, really. It is what it is. But at the moment, a lot of wrestlers are suffering as a result of this. And I don't know how it's gonna get better without some kind of medicine to control it or a vaccine to stop it. So when do we get fans back in the arenas? How and when? Especially in the tight indie crowds. I go to shows and I am sat, right, surrounded by people, literally shoulder to shoulder. It's standing room only, but obviously I'm in a wheelchair, so I'm sat in the middle of it, right? But it's standing room only, 200 people, 150, 200 people, shoulder to shoulder, stood against the ring apron, yeah? We are packed in like fucking sardines, yeah?
Yep.
How is that going to work with social distancing? It's not. how many people can you get in a show? And this is what you got to understand. These shows cost money to make. You have to rent the building, yeah. You have to pay the wrestlers, and you don't just pay their wages. You pay their travel. You pay their hotels, yeah.
For most of them, let's be honest, not much. Some of these guys, they come down voluntarily.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Fair enough. But if you're running a wrestling,
but the majority, like the names that you come there to watch, they're accommodated in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and if you're running a wrestling promotion properly, you should look after your wrestlers. They should be paid, and you know it's the same as any other job. You know what I mean?
Sure. Without them, you don't have shit. You don't have a show.
That's it. But the point is, these shows at a minimum might cost £2,000 to put on. Yeah. £2,000 to put on.
That's bare minimum.
Right now, you got to make your money back. Yeah. So if you sell your tickets at 20 quid each, and you get 200 people in, you're even. Yeah?
Yep.
You're not making a lot of money, right? So, with the coronavirus, if you can only have 50 people in there, what kind of fucking show can you run on 50 quid's worth of, like, 50 people's worth of tickets?
You can't do it. You can't supply, there's other things like you know, like condiments for the people that are gonna go and watch. Like, you know, you gotta buy food, you know, sodas, stuff like that people can buy and purchase.
Yep.
You know what I mean? While they're watching the show, stuff like that, and it's just not possible.
And that's the problem we're in at the minute. But I think at the moment that is why there is such a big thing on the Speaking Out movement, because I think people are taking it as an opportunity to clean up a very fucking dirty business that has been dirty since the day it was created.
Okay, but so what you're I'm kind of confused, because so you're saying like now this is the perfect opportunity for the ones that were fucked over due to the backstage politics and stuff to basically say, yeah, well, guess what? I can't perform and I want to perform, but I can't because of this fucking asshole here?
I think so, because no one's, at the moment, no one's worried about losing their bookings. You know what I mean?
Ah, yeah, okay, yeah.
And
they're in the same, so on the level playing field, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense to me. Yeah, that's true.
But you know, I don't know about this corona. I don't know, you know, what we're gonna do about it. When will it end? When will it end? Like I said, we need medicine to deal with it, or a vaccine. You know?
I disagree. I don't think we need anything, because I think it's fucking. I won't say. All right, I want to say that it's bullshit. I know it's a real thing, but I just think it affects a certain group of people. You know what I mean? Like the immune deficient, like the statistics don't lie, okay? And we've talked about this off air. This is where I'm gonna come off sounding. I'm gonna rattle some cages with this one, I'm sure. But I have not worn a mask. I have not done or abided by any fucking the guideline that has been, you know, told to me via the fucking social media, via any source. I've not done any of these things. I am still here talking to you. I am still healthy. I can breathe properly. There's nothing wrong with me. I guarantee you, if you test me, I will not be and again, that term asymptomatic, where, oh, well, you know, you might have it, but not project any of the fucking symptoms. I think that's a fucking cop-out. I really do. Like, as much as they portrayed this thing to be a deadly fucking earth-ending, species-ending, mankind-ending fucking virus, I think that's just a cop-out. To say that, oh, well, you could be symptomatic, but not. I go outside and I see the same people every fucking day. If it was that deadly, the same person I talked to fucking yesterday, I probably wouldn't see again, right? But I still see that guy. And I see his cousin, and I see his friend from down the block, and I see the fucking corner store owner, and I see the fucking bartender over there, and I see this guy, all the fucking same people I've seen every fucking day, okay? Whether they're wearing masks or not, a lot of them wear masks, some people don't. But guess what? I'm still seeing the same people. I have yet to see somebody very, very close to me be hospitalized because of this fucking thing. Not one. Not a fucking one. So what are you trying to tell me here, media? You know what I mean? Are you trying to scare me? Are you trying to do a social experiment? Because that's how I feel. And now I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I really am not, because this is not the first time they've done this. It conveniently happens every election year here in the States. I don't know how your voting terms go, or even if you have one. You have a monarchy there.
Yeah.
Right? Or a patriarchy at this point, right?
Still got a government and prime minister and that.
Right, so it's like kind of weird. I don't know how it works, so I don't want to speak on it. But you do get to elect government officials.
Yeah, it's basically
you know what I mean?
the same. It's basically our prime minister is basically the same as your president, pretty much.
Right, just the royal family gets to do whatever the fuck they want, and no questions are asked and whatever. Must be fucking nice, but
yeah. That's it.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, bro? That's a fucking great life to live.
Oh, mate,
but like, again, like I'm saying, like again, it's like we're talking about like the allegations. You know what I mean? Some of them are real. The majority of them, unfortunately, are not. People are just taking advantage of a situation, and that's what I think that the media is doing because of this fucking virus.
Well, I think
that's just my opinion. I don't tell me how you feel, man. And I also do believe, all right, we've talked about this off air. We've mentioned it on previous podcasts. I do believe it's man-made. I do believe they did it for a reason. What that reason is, I can only speculate on, but I can't state anything as fact. So, with that being said, I give it to you.
Well, I think, firstly, being man-made, alright. I think to be man-made is giving human beings too much credit. We are not that advanced scientifically to understand how to create that virus. However, they could have been working on a virus and accidentally made this strain of it. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was designed. I wouldn't say it was created as it is. If it was man-made, it was an accident. They were trying something, it got fucking... Maybe they were working on a flu thing, and it got worse, you know? But I
and it mutated, so, yeah.
So we as human beings do not understand what it takes to create that virus. We don't understand the building blocks enough to be able to create that virus. And I also think that part of the problem with what you're saying about, you know, you haven't seen it. It's not in your area. And I think that is kind of indicative of the problem of why people don't believe it, because you haven't seen it in your area. Now, I look at some...
Well, may I interject?
Yeah.
I've not seen it anywhere.
No. But then
I've not seen it anywhere, all right? Like, anywhere. Again, I haven't traveled the world. I haven't been to Egypt. I haven't been to Africa, so on and so forth. But you don't ever hear about this shit outside of the United States and just, like, you know, liberal media fucking platforms, whether it be, you know, politically speaking on, you know, like the Fox News or the CNN on your end, the BBC. You don't see it anywhere else. Nobody's talking about it. So if it was that deadly and that devastating, why isn't like complete bedlam, you know what I mean, taking place?
Well, that's what I'm waiting for, mate, because to be fair, right, this is what threw my mind on it a little bit, was the fact that I believe this shit, right? You got to look at the R number, right? The R number for the common flu is 1. The R number for coronavirus is 2.5, right? So you know what the R number is. That's how many people you can affect, right, from having it. So I look at that and I can see that.
Yes, I do.
The fact that we was all in lockdown, the fact that people were quarantined, did help slow down the fucking virus. You just got to look at places like Australia and New Zealand. that shut down quick, quarantined quick, kept people separate. And look, they're fucking COVID-free, more or less. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, with America, it wasn't shut down. With Britain, it wasn't shut down that quickly. And you can see the spread. You can see how much of it is going on. Alright, sorry, lost my place there. We had a little bit of a distraction. But, right, so we're talking about this corona. So I'm looking at the R numbers. Like I say, we know what the R numbers are. We know that places like New Zealand, Australia, they shut down quick. They've pretty much dealt with the coronavirus in a lot of ways. And it isn't that way in America. It isn't that way in Britain. We can see it. You know, we might not see it personally. I don't know anyone personally, friends, family, or even friends of friends, or family of friends of family, you know, that have had it or died from it. However, there have been like 90 to 100 fucking medical staff in the UK that have died as a result of this, of treating it. There are, and this is true. Do you know what I mean? It's, the virus is very fucking real, and the different, you know.
I agree.
And we've lived different lives, right? We've approached this very fucking differently. Yeah, you've gone out, you've not worn a mask, you've not done this, you've not done that. Now, I haven't gone outside my front door since January, when I went to meet Adrian Street. That was the last time I went outside my door. And I have only had 3 people in here in January. And that is the people that bring my shopping in and whatever, yeah? So I've handled this very differently, yeah? Now,
yeah.
I have handled it that way because when I was 7, I had whooping cough. When I was 28, I had pneumonia, yeah? And I nearly died from the pneumonia. So for me, I'm not going to take too many risks with this COVID. Whether I know it's real or not, whether I know how deadly it is or not, you know, I've got to look at it like, if this is a real deal, if I get that, I'm dead. That's going to kill me. You know?
Okay.
So, I'm treating it a little bit fucking differently. So maybe what you are. Maybe you're, you know, like I say, you're in that mindset you don't think it's real anyway. You know?
Well, how is that going to help me from getting sick from something that affects 2.5 people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've had flu shots and all this stuff. I've never had the flu in my life. Even before the shots. This is where I'm coming from. You know, maybe my immune system is super fucking strong. I don't know what I don't. All I know is, again, like you stated, all I know is what I see.
Yeah.
All I know is what I experience. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I watch TV and I see everything else that they're doing, as far as, you know, the propaganda, again, we live in 2 different countries, so it's I don't know what you're seeing on TV as opposed to mine. So
a lot of the news,
all we see on TV is racial divide. You know what I mean? We have 2 different news networks, you know, basically putting out propaganda.
Yeah.
You know, and it's up for you to fucking decide for yourself what's the real and what's not.
Exactly that.
But
yeah.
It's just funny that every single time there is an election year where both these sides, Democrat and Republican, have to actually butt heads or pretend to butt heads. This is where you and I agree. They're both on the same side.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, yeah. There's no fucking doubt about that shit. Okay?
Well,
so this is what they're doing. But they don't portray it as such on TV. They portray it as them arguing with each other. They're not.
No.
They've most likely scripted everything that they fucking said or are going to say against each other and have their retorts ready, you know, once the fucking cameras go live for a live debate or whatever segment they have on, whether it's CNN or Fox News.
Well,
okay? But there's a lot of people, and the majority of people buy into that bullshit. So for me, personally, it's like, well, you know what? I'm going to do the opposite of what they tell me to do on TV. And I have done this, and guess what? I'm fine. Yeah. My life has not changed. I've seen life around me, and life around me is still the fucking same as it was yesterday, a month ago, a year ago, 2 fucking years ago. I have not seen bodies in the fucking streets. I've not seen ambulances full with fucking corpses. I've seen none of these things. None of these things.
Well,
and the majority of those fucking film segments that you see where bodies are getting loading up into fucking truck beds and fucking, you know, vans and what have you.
Yeah.
None of that shit happens. None of that. It's I just have a hard time believing it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But all I'll say about one more thing on that is I do look at the stats for for the world and for the United States, and the state that you live in is in like the bottom 30. You're one of the least affected states out of the 52 states. Your state is what, so for you, you're not likely to. You've had about 375 people die in your state. Yeah?
Okay.
Which isn't a fucking
We're talking about
lot.
Massachusetts or New Hampshire? Which one?
I'm going with New Hampshire myself, but yeah.
All right, so you know what our slogan is, right? Live free or die.
Well, there you go. There you go.
So we live free, and we're not locking ourselves up inside the house. Mind you, we did according, you know, like to, you know, state laws, whatever, for a certain amount of time, but we have the least amount of deaths. Do you understand? This is why, like scientific-wise, this is where you and I are going to meet heads and fucking kind of agree on it. In order for someone to build a strong immune system, a healthy immune system, you have. This is why they say vaccines are a good thing. They expose you to a little lesser form of it first, right?
Yeah.
And your body's like, oh, I don't like this. Get it out of here. Right? Layman's terms. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sound too fucking scientific. That's not my job. That's your job. So that's basically what I've done my entire life. I think that when you use a hand sanitizer that kills 99.9% of bacteria, not all bacteria is bad. There is some good bacteria that you fucking need. But now what this coronavirus fucking, you know, facade has done, people buying fucking hand sanitizer. You can't wipe your ass without they rub hand sanitizer on their ass cheeks and their fucking buttholes, on their fucking cocks, their balls, the whole fucking, they rub hand sanitizer all over the place. You're lowering your, these are facts, okay? When people say you're just being stupid, no, I'm not. You're lowering your own human immune system, the experience of actually fighting something itself. So once something breaks that shield, let's call the hand sanitizer a shield, right?
Yeah.
Once the bacteria breaks that shield, which it will.
Yeah.
Once it infiltrates your fucking system, your body is going to have zero idea how to deal with it.
Yeah. Well,
and those are the people that get sick. Can I tell you a story real quick? Okay. Do we have the time?
Go on.
All right. So one of my first martial arts trainers actually was his, you know, my original like Taekwondo master, and then there was another master under him, whatever. But the one under him would always use hand sanitizer all the time, and he always bragged about, oh, I never get sick, with it. I can't do his accent, whatever. I never get sick. Okay. Well, one time he did get sick. And when he did get sick, guess how long he was out for? 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months. You know why? Because his body had no fucking idea how to deal with it. How to adapt to it immediately. Oh, I've seen this before. That's what your bacteria in your body, the good bacteria. What do they call it? What is it called? Probiotics.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a big thing? Wasn't that a big thing 1-2 years ago? Probiotics, right?
Yeah, everyone drinking little yogurts.
What did you used to take when you were a kid? When you got sick, what did they give you? Antibiotics. Now, all of a sudden, they want to give you probiotics. Guess why they want to do that? Because there's other fucking shit that's coming out here, that your body's going to need to fucking... They're finally realizing that there's good bacteria and bad fucking bacteria. They're learning, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, for me, and this is where we go into another fucking thing, is that I think that this whole thing was a social experiment. Well, like you just said, to weed out the weak between the strong. And it's not saying like the person itself is weak or strong, but their immune system. You know what I mean? Their immune system and how they've responded to things. Like, you know, who responded to that commercial saying, oh, you know what I mean? Well, fuck, you have to wash your hands 15 times a day. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to fuck every time you fucking do this, you got to use hand sanitizer. No, you are not. Because if you do that, you are weakening your own body. And you are relying on something that you have to purchase from a store or a shop.
And there you go.
So what is that telling you? What is that telling you? They're making you dependent upon somebody else outside of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what a lot of it is, the pharmaceutical industry, you know? It's like a lot of it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Like, I don't want to go off on a mad fucking tangent and go too far off track, but depression medication. I see people taking depression medication, and it don't help them. It really, they go into some like mongy fucking days where they're like, oh, we're happy, but they're not fucking happy. They're just drugged up on shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, mate, I ain't gonna go off on one down that fucking path, right?
Keeps them docile, basically. That's where they want them. Like, well, don't kill yourself and don't kill anybody else. Just stay right here. This is where we want you.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it is for me.
Yeah. But to get back to what we were saying, because like we try and keep this under an hour.
I'm sorry, did I go off way too far?
Mate, we both went off, mate. We will do, won't we? You know, we're like talking. But back to the corona thing. What is making me doubt? What gives me doubt about the legitimacy or the danger of it, right? Because I do have these thoughts of what you're thinking. How bad is it really, right? Because I look at all the riots. I look at, hang on, what we got? Yeah, all the riots, all the protests, all the people going down to the beaches. Like in Great Britain, like last weekend, there was 500,000 people packed on a fucking beach, right? And I look at all this, and I think to myself...
I'm gonna mute myself, but I'm listening, so don't stop anything, okay?
Alright, no worries. And I think to myself, well, if all these people are out there, all these people are crowded together, a lot of them not wearing masks, a lot of them not wearing gloves, and when it comes to the protests and the riots and the police throwing in pepper spray and tear gas, which makes people cough, which makes their nose run, which makes them dribble and spit and like put their germs everywhere, right? For me, I was looking at there being a huge fucking spike in American deaths or cases, and there has been a massive spike in certain areas, but nowhere near what I thought, and it doesn't correlate with when you think that Minnesota was, like, has been, not just for the George Floyd thing, but I'm sure they were protesting about something a few months earlier as well, or there was a few places they was protesting about the lockdown, right? We want out of lockdown.
Everything that you're saying, I'm in complete and total agreement with right now.
Right, and this is where my doubt comes in, because I look at it, and as far as I'm concerned, from what I know, my science, my mathematics, my data, what I think, Minnesota should be suffering big fucking time. It should be an epicenter right now, but it's not. And that is where my doubt around the coronavirus comes in.
It's kind of fucking convenient, isn't it? Like, it really is. Like, you gotta social distance, but we have government officials combating the protesters, right?
Yeah.
None of them, like you said, these are facts. Everything that you just stated are fucking facts. None of them are wearing masks. Some of them are. They wear masks because they're Antifa. That's their fucking thing. And fuck those guys, by the way.
Yeah,
they are more of a fucking problem than they are not a solution to anything. They're wastes of fucking oxygen and flesh and nutrients that all of us normal people should be breathing, eating, and consuming, and fucking just living our normal lives. But because of fucking people like that, fuck them. That's just. They're more of the problem than anything else.
I'll agree with you on that.
I've dealt with them personally, but bro, oh my god. I would have not have believed it, again, like I would have not have believed it totally until I had to see it for myself and experience it for myself, they are brain dead. They are fucking brain dead. All right?
They fall in the same category as the militant vegans, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. They're two peas in a pod.
Yeah. And I'll agree with that, mate. That
Are peas a vegetable? Because if it is, that's great pun. But anyway.
But yeah, man.
No, man. It's fucked. Like they're all there and it's all good. Like nobody's fucking getting reprimanded. I know in the UK, like when the quarantine was going down, if you come out your house, you get a fine, and you could even be arrested.
Well, it was
here in the States. They're allowed. Like we have to follow these rules. But if you're protesting, quote unquote, apparently those rules don't apply.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me. Again, makes no sense. Makes it seem more fake to me.
And that again, and that ties in with the coronavirus, because I think a majority, not majority, I don't know, 60% maybe, of people that have gone out protesting, gone out rioting, have not gone out to support Black Lives Matter. They've not gone out to support the George Floyd killing. They've gone out because they're sick of being in lockdown. They're sick of being in quarantine.
Yes.
They're bored. They're not at work.
Yes.
They're not at work. There's no work for them to go to, so they're bored. So they go out and they get involved in these protests and they get involved in these riots. And I'm not saying there ain't like a cause for the protests. I just think if the coronavirus is what it is, then this is the wrong fucking time to do it. Do you know what I mean?
No, well, the wrong time for us.
Yeah.
But the right time for them.
Yeah.
The ones that are perpetrating the propaganda.
Yeah.
It's the right time for them. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the point I'm trying to make. The sequence of events that happens. Keep people in their houses. Make them stir crazy, right?
Yeah.
Then do something like this, okay? Then get them angry, but they can't go anywhere. And then when they watch their TV, they're going to see people outside doing the things that they wish that they could do, right?
Yeah.
And then they're just going to say, fuck it, I'm going to do it too.
Yep.
And it's just negativity upon negativity upon negativity. But that's what they did. Like I'm saying, it's a social experiment worldwide.
Yeah.
And that's the scary thing. That's the scary thing, that it's worldwide.
Yeah, it is worldwide. And I think I'm not in disagreement that this is being used by, and I don't want to get all David Icke on this, but...
You already sound like him, you might as well do it.
But, you know, I do...
I'm talking about vocally. Like if you guys listen, you tell me he doesn't sound like David Icke. Yeah. I've said this to him many times, so...
Yeah. He's a bit more... It's
not altogether a bad thing, in my opinion.
But I agree, or I can see his point of view, and I can believe his point of view that there is a move towards a one world government. There is already a one world government, whatever, right? But there is a move to making that a known thing, a common knowledge thing, that there is a one world government moving.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Moving to a digital currency. Yeah, go.
Well, I don't know how your radio or your media portrays. This is the new normal, which leads into what you just said. Yeah. This is the new normal. So get used to this, because this is going to be the normal. The new. It's not going to be new forever. This is going to be normal. Yeah, you can't do shit. Like, you see that? It's things like that. It's things like you got to. I pick up on things like that. I know you do too, but. You know, you guys use different terms over there in the UK as opposed to us. But when they say the new normal, that's an oxymoron. Yeah. Normal is not new. Normal is something that you're already used to. Yeah. Right? So they're saying this is the new thing that you're going to get used to. Yeah. That's what they're saying. All right. I got to get that one out.
Yeah. No, that's it. But that's the thing. That's where it all makes sense. It all ties together. That like the stuff that David Icke would say about the one world government and that, you know, and you're right, it all ties in with that. And not just that, the one world currency, making it a digital one world currency. You know, we're already getting that thing of the coronavirus can be passed from banknotes, because it's on paper. So there's already airports that won't take paper money. There's places that won't take paper money. So it's already moving towards that digital currency of only using your bank card, your credit card, whatever, to pay for things. So I can see a lot of what David Icke says, and a lot of it does make sense. I'm not saying he's 100% right on everything. I'm not saying I believe what he says about lizard people.
Nor am I. But there are some things that make a lot of fucking sense.
Yeah, he says a lot of things that we were already thinking. And it's like, alright, well, this guy's been doing this for a long fucking time. Yeah, he might come across as a bit mental, and maybe he might be a bit mental, but he's saying things that not just I have thought, but you have thought. And you live in America, I live in Britain. We've lived very different lives, different upbringings, yet we both find that we think the same things about certain points of the world.
Yes, sir. 100%.
And then David Icke comes out and he ties our opinions together, and it's hard to ignore. Do you know?
It sure is. It sure is, because it's like, again, like it's like you said, it's like something that, well, it's common sense. And I think, like, again, like when you go, I've been to one of these rallies or these fucking protests. I've been to one. Mind you, it was a small one, but it was the same thing.
Yeah.
And you see it. It's like these people have no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know? Like, and it makes you kind of like, and then you go back and you listen to this guy that a lot of people call a fucking crazy nutbag.
Yeah.
And then you listen to him like, this fucking guy who's heralded as a crazy nutbag is making more sense than this fucking person here.
Yeah, yeah.
For somebody to say that you're not allowed to have an opinion because of the color of your skin, but they're preaching and protesting against racism, how hypocritical is that?
Yeah, yeah.
That shows the mindset of these people. It makes no fucking sense. What the fuck are you talking about? You want everything to be equal, yet you say something like that? That's counterproductive. You have no clue why you're here. You shouldn't be there. You have no fucking head on your shoulders. That's it. That's the harsh reality. But it's because of the media here, which is run by the left side. This is a fact, okay? I don't know how it works over there.
Yeah, no,
the left side, the Democrat side runs the media. Like, they own it, the majority of it.
Yeah,
like 95%. So whatever you see on TV is what they want to fucking let you see.
Yeah,
That's it. So you have to seek alternative media.
Yeah.
A la fucking David Icke or whoever the fuck you choose. There's so many sources.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I like the Joe Rogan podcast because he has various people on there, right wing, left wing, whatever.
Very neutral. Yeah, it's very neutral.
And I like
that's the way it should be. Should it not?
Yeah, and exactly that. And that is the thing, though, mate. We're never gonna get that. We're never gonna get that. There's always gonna be a left or a right, whatever you call it, however you want to put it. There's always gonna be a good and an evil. Right, and what side is good and what side is evil is very subjective, to that individual, right? But there is always going to be that battle between good and evil, that left and right, that I am right, you are wrong. And we will never...
Why does it have to be good and evil, though?
Well, whatever.
It could just be two opposing opinions, you know what I mean?
Exactly, but it's not the way it's portrayed, is it? Is you are bad.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They portray it as such, but it really isn't. Like you and I. We have different opinions on things.
Oh, yeah.
This being one of them. You know what I mean? But do we hate each other because of it? No. We talk about it, and we have good conversations, some of the greatest conversations. Yeah. Why can't the entire world do the same thing? It's very easy to do. To talk to somebody. It's very easy.
Yeah.
You have to be receptive, okay? That's the problem for me. That's the problem. A lot of people they're stuck in their own, I'm going to say this and then I'm not going to I'm going to talk over you. Anytime you make a good point, you're not going to give the other person credit for it. That's the wrong approach.
Exactly. And that is and that is the thing though. That is the way people are and that is the way things are. And that is why we're always going to have this battle of good and bad, you know, your good and bad thing, because people can't accept other people's ways of life. People can't accept other people's opinions without there being some kind of major fucking upheaval, some major fucking event that happens that changes things, and maybe this is going to change it. I think we have gone too far left. Right now, you know me, I'm one of them people, you'd probably consider me more left. A lot of people do, right? But I don't
consider you either one. You're neutral to me.
And that's the way I try to be, you know? But the moment I say Donald Trump's a dickhead, everyone goes, right, you're a left-wing nut, you're a Hillary Clinton supporter. I don't care, fuck that. Hillary Clinton can go fucking jump in a pit of acid for all I fucking care. Yeah? I am nothing.
As she should, and her husband.
Yeah.
By the way, just saying.
And you know what I mean? It's not that I am looking for what everyone else says they're looking for. And that is equality. That is, you know, people being the same. Why can't we be the same? Why is there a fucking difference? Do you know what I mean? We all come from the same place. Right? We all started off in caves. Alright, not started off, but let's go back so far, yeah? We was in caves, yeah? And we was hunting with spears, and we was inventing fire, yeah? Now look at us. We've got running water, we've got roads, we've got gas, we've got electricity, we've got buildings we live in, we've got transport, vehicles. Long gone are the days of horse-drawn carriages, yeah? We are in bullet trains now that can go fucking 600 miles an hour, however fucking fast they go. Yeah? We, as a human species, are amazing. We are. We've done some amazing shit. The Hubble telescope, Voyager, the International Space Station. We're living longer. We've got help. We've improved our health. Yeah? We have done so much. Look at the technology. You go back to those cave times, yeah? Those people would not even understand or be able to comprehend the idea of a button or a screen. They look how far we've come. We invented time. Time did not exist until human beings gave it meaning. Human beings give everything meaning. We are a fucking amazing species. We could do so much if we fucking work together.
This is where you and I are gonna part ways, though. This is one of your greatest rants, by the way, too, because I agree with everything that you just said.
Yeah.
That I think we've already went above and beyond that. Just, you know, I'm gonna get biblical on you.
Yeah.
I think there was a big reset hit.
Yeah.
Not of any doing of our own, just because it happened.
Yeah.
I think there was a highly, like the proof. The proof is coming out now more so than ever. You know what I mean? I'm glad I'm alive to see this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, about the pyramids, underwater pyramids buried under sand, all these things, like ancient technologies that we can't, like structures that can be constructed that we can't do to this day. With the technology, the superior technology that we have today, we cannot do what was done thousands of years ago. And that is fucking incredible to me. And it tells me a lot. And that's something I could see. If I go to fucking Egypt and I see the Great Pyramids of Giza,
yeah,
and we can't recreate those, well, how the fuck were they done? You know what I mean? That's a question that needs to be fucking answered. But nobody wants that question answered, I should say. But,
well, I can't disagree.
You know what I mean?
I won't disagree.
A topic for
with
another.
that.
I'm just saying, food for thought. You know what I mean?
No, totally. I can't disagree, or I can't prove it or disprove it either way. But I am totally of the belief that it's entirely possible that our civilization reached a higher point in technological advance than it is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because I believe it is inevitable, just looking at the way society is, Because I've been saying this, mate, since I've known you about 4 years. I've been telling you this the whole fucking time. There is going to be a war over resources. There is going to be because the water's running out. There are too many fucking people on the planet and not enough resources to go round. We're already fucking fighting over them. It's going to get worse. There's going to be another apocalypse, another end of world event.
Yes.
And if that is nuclear war, that's one thing. If it's a virus, that's another thing. It will come down to the fact that there are just not enough fucking resources to go round. Yeah? And there will be a reset.
Who gets to determine who lives or who dies, though? That's the problem.
It will be whatever survives, and that is the point. There are 7.5 billion people on this planet, and if the coronavirus kills 2 million people, which that's around my estimate, I reckon by the time it's done with, it's going to have killed around 2 million people, maybe more, right? We're at 500,000 right now, so I'm still waiting for another 1.5 million to die. Yeah.
In what lifespan? Well, not lifespan, but time span.
In a couple of years.
2 million? 2 million or 2 billion?
2 million in about 2 years.
2 million. In 2 years. Okay.
Yeah, that's my rough estimate. If we don't like look out for it and protect ourselves from it, don't find the cures, don't find the vaccine, you know, I estimate around 2 million in 2 years. Yeah, maybe 2 to 3 years. Right, look, we'll die from this. So that's 2 million people out of 7.5. Alright, whatever, we can deal with that. We've still got 7.5 billion people left on the planet, yeah? And there is still not enough fucking resources to go round. You know what I mean?
But says who?
The water's running out, dude. The lakes are drying up, the rivers are dying up, the trees are coming down, we're cutting down all the fucking forests. We're mining all the minerals.
There's a lot of ice in Antarctica that needs to be melted.
Yeah, we'll take
a lot of ice.
All the gadgets we use, our phones, our PCs, our laptops, our TVs, our PlayStations, they all require metallic elements that are mined from the earth. And we are running low on some of these metallic elements. And there's going to come a point where we cannot create this technology anymore because we've run out of fucking elements, right? So when we can't create our technology because we've mined everything, yeah, then the technology will start to fucking die. And then, and that's what I'm saying. With the resource, the water running out, the wars over the water, I've said this before, the River Nile goes along 9 countries. There are already countries that want to build dams to stop that water getting to the other countries. How are you going to be if you're one of them other countries and they say, we're going to block your water?
That's very true.
Yeah?
That's very true.
Right?
Yep. That's very true.
We're in wars over oil right now. We're going to go to war over water. I promise you this, yeah? And that is going to happen in the next fucking 10 years, yeah? By 2030. My prediction, by 2050, we are in post-apocalypse state. It is Mad Max town by 2050.
2050 or 2050? Yeah, 2050 you said.
Yeah.
Can't be 2015.
No, 2050, yeah? So
I would go even earlier, to be honest with you.
Yeah, quite possibly. Considering it's how bad things are at the moment. It's speeding up. But my thing was between 2020 and 2030, things were going to get bad. And then from 2030 to 2050, it was going to go to shit. And by 2050, we were going to be in that Mad Max. There's still going to be human beings alive in the world, somewhere. And the human race will continue. But that human race will have to learn from the beginning again. And they will only have the people that are there to tell them about the world, about the history. And if all that history is under the ground, if all that history is deteriorated over time, because how long it takes to dig these fucking things up, they might not even be there by the time we go to dig them up. Do you know what I mean? And then
we're doing it now. Like when we go under the ocean, like you see a fucking pyramid off the coast of Japan.
Yeah.
That's a fucking... There's no denying that. That's man-made. There is no denying that. You see it, but you never hear it on the news. Yeah. You see all these things, but they don't. Why do they? This is my question to you. What is the reason why they would not tell you this? Why? Like, hey, look, we found something that's really fucking incredible. It's really fucking thought-provoking. Why do we not want to talk about it with you? We instead want to fucking instill fear in you and fucking keep you inside your fucking house, because if you go outside your house, you're gonna fucking die. But by the way, there's under fucking water pyramids everywhere on the planet. There's all kinds of fucking magnificent structures all over Why would they do that, Bert?
The way I look at it, mate, is they want to hide things. They want people to live in delusion. Look at religion. Why is religion so big? Why was religion controlled the world for so long? Controlled people's thought processes.
Why would they name their telescope Lucifer?
Yeah.
Is a better question.
You know?
That's a fact, too. You never hear them talk about that, but that's a fact. No, the Vatican named their fucking telescope Lucifer.
Our history, our history is bullshit. Yeah? Our history is written by the winners. Yeah? History is not written by the losers. History is written by the people that won, and the people that will then put themselves over and put their triumphs and their greatest stuff over. Right? And take America, right? I've told you this before. I once looked into the American citizenship test, right? And the questions that they ask you on the test are not the real history of America, not the history that Europeans and that everyone else in the world is taught.
Yes, I remember this.
Yeah, the history is the American version of history. We came over here, we did this happened, because the Americans wrote that history. And now, to pass the American citizenship test, you have to learn a bullshit history. Yeah?
It's like learning the Pledge of Allegiance when you're a kid in school.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Yep.
You do.
I had an American teacher for a while in junior school, and
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Yeah. And all nations under one sun. Like, I do know it, kind of, But I had an American teacher.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands, one country under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice to all.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So, you know,
from second grade on, you're a fucking 8-year-old kid. That's indoctrination.
Yeah. And that's it. And that's what I'm saying. That is, to answer your question, why they don't want us to know about the fucking pyramids under the water and the ancient technology, because it throws everything they teach. It proves that it's bullshit. Do you know what I mean? It proves that the history we're being taught, that we're being controlled by, is bullshit, because we can see this stuff and we go, well, that's not in your history, is it? Not like, I'm not talking about America, but world history. The pyramid, you know. So
with you on that, 100%.
You know,
everything that we've learned worldwide is fucked. Everything.
Yeah. History is written by the winners.
What happened in the Middle East? What was it? Was it in Iran or Saudi Arabia, where there was like a fucking conflict, and they went into a great library that had so many fucking ancient scriptures, they burned the library down.
Oh yeah. And
I don't remember exactly where it was, but they fucking burned it down to a cinder.
Yeah,
where no one could fucking. It was protected by It was protected, but they got overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's fuck, man, but why?
Yeah, well,
like that, you're doing your fucking people a disservice by doing that.
Well, that's it. It's the same as the Nazis in Germany. They done a lot of book burning. There's a lot of history lost. The Chinese Ming Dynasty, they burnt hundreds of years and so much fucking scientific and mathematical fucking writings and scripture that would have advanced us so much fucking quicker But the Chinese Ming Dynasty burnt it, destroyed it, because they didn't want other people having access and understanding of these concepts. And that is a lot of what's fucking happening today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh man.
but
It's another one of those things that makes you feel like small, because we can talk about it and realize what the fuck is going on, but at the same time our voice means nothing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Which is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I think. I'm not right about everything. I don't consider myself an incredibly intelligent person. You know, I've got a level of intelligence. I'm not extremely educated, but I look at the world a certain way, and I think, really, how can other people not see what I see? How do they not see? To me, it makes sense. To me, it all adds up, but to other people, it don't. And you know what? I think part of that is people are happy in ignorance. They're happy just to believe.
Content.
Yeah. To believe that everything's going to be okay, to believe that one day they're going to go somewhere better than this, you know, and that everything's all right, and that going to work every day and paying your taxes, getting married, bringing up children so they can go to work and pay their taxes. You know what I mean? We are a fucking business. Why are human beings the only fucking animal on the planet that has to pay to eat and live?
Ain't that a motherfucker? And they want to talk about human trafficking. They've been doing it the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Is that not human trafficking? Oh yeah, put them to work.
That's
Put
society,
them to work.
mate.
And it doesn't matter what skin tone you have.
No.
This is how they treat you.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I say they, you know who I mean, the 1%.
Yeah.
Put them to work. Yeah. Oh, they're gonna make money. That means more money for me.
Yeah, exactly that.
They take money out of your paycheck. Well, where's this going? Federal Reserve Bank. Why?
Yeah.
Who is that? Who is this money going to? What are they going to do with it? They don't tell you.
No, of course they don't. And they don't do half as much with it as you fucking like them to, either.
No, they put it in there. They own it. They're the ones that give the money out. They are the one. This is it. Oh, you need $1? Here you go. Here's $1. By the way, you're gonna have to pay that back to me. Like you mentioned racketeering.
Yeah.
That's the most fucking gigantic form of fucking racketeering.
Yep. Yeah, it's one big
racket. And it started in the Napoleon War. Actually, it started before it, but that's where they really got everybody, in the Napoleon War. When they said Napoleon won the war, when the war wasn't even really being fought yet, and they fucking took all his money.
Yeah.
Took all the money from the people. They robbed you. Criminals.
And that is what it is,
Criminals run the fucking world, man. Criminals run the world. Salud.
That's why I think people live in ignorance. Because they don't want to admit that. They don't want to just be a cog in a machine. They don't just want to be a worker ant, you know? And that's why I think people live in this ignorance.
It's crazy, but the fucking media that portrays it in a different fashion. You have to do this. You have, like... They own everything, man. It's crazy. Are we done recording, or are we fucking...
No, we're still talking, mate, but I am thinking about wrapping it up. We've been going a while, mate. We've covered quite a few subjects, and I think
this is a really good one, too, like...
Mixed bag, mate, wasn't it? A little bit of a mixed bag, but...
You may want to rename it that. Just a mixed bag of fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't bullshit, but, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I don't know, mate. What we covered then?
Mixed bag of facts. Mixed bag of facts, whether you realize it or not.
This
is the truth.
That's it. Like it, don't like it, share it, whatever. But what we say is what we say. We ain't got the answers to everything. We're not the most intelligent fucking people and the most educated people on the planet. But we see what we see and we say it how we see it. And this is
life as we see it. This is what we're experiencing.
From our perspectives, not from someone else's perspective who lives a different lifestyle to us, who lives in a different place to us. These are our perspectives, and whether you agree with them or not is up to you. But it doesn't mean, you know, you have to hate us for it. You can hate us for it if you fucking want.
Let them. Yeah, let them. Fuck them.
You know? So, I don't know, mate. Is that for then? That for today? Is what I meant to say.
Well, fuck. I don't know what else we got to talk about. I mean, we're fucked. Regardless, I guess. You know what I mean?
Well, let's say
I never thought as a kid, man. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta look back at things like when you were a kid. Like, that's the thing that gets me the most, Bert, is this. When you look back at the commercials as a kid, like, you have to, like, question, like, what were they trying to push back then? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, again, without internet, without anything, like, were they... And they were, obviously. Yeah, like, there's been, you know... 9/11 is the fucking best example of propaganda that you're ever gonna fucking see. But things have happened before that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just like, if that doesn't let you know that they want you to see what they want you to see, and nothing else other than, you have your head up your own ass. Like, that's the way I see it, man. Like, I don't watch cable TV anymore. I don't. I canceled my cable television. You know, like, you see all these fucking stupid TV shows, these reality shows that, like, make you fucking think like that's what real life is supposed to. That's what that is, right? That's productive programming, right? Or not predictive, but I call it productive. Like, this is what they want you to be.
Well, I think...
You know, like, oh yeah, when you're in a house with 3 other people, this is how you're supposed to react, right? And you fucking focus on that one person on that show. Like, he's the one most like me, but he does something stupid that you would never fucking do. But then you feel obligated to do it yourself because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the manipulation.
This is what I would call shaping evolution, right?
Yes.
We are breeding behaviours into our... Same way we do with dogs. Same way you can get a sheep dog and a guard dog and a dog that fucking sniffs for this and that, right? We are breeding behaviours into ourselves now with all this, what's going on,
insanity.
You know? And after time...
That means that other human beings look down upon other human beings.
Yeah.
Regardless of fucking skin tone or anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's it. And they do. It happens everywhere. Happens everywhere with all sorts of races.
Jesus Christ. And that's and I agree with that 100%. I can't argue with that. I can't. I'm looking for something to argue with you about, but I can't do it.
Well,
I can't do it.
We'll find something.
It's not a bad thing. This is what the world needs.
Yeah. Discussion. I've listened to you, you've listened to me. I've understood some of your points, you've understood some of mine. We don't agree on everything, but there you go. We've reached a conclusion that we live in a fucked up world. Human beings are amazing, incredible, fucking beautiful, fucking whatever. We are such an amazing fucking thing. If we want to be. And we can be. But we're not. And I think that's the problem, and that's what needs to be changed. And other than that, I'm pretty much done, mate. I'm done. That's me.
Because you could go on all day, man. That's what I mean. So you could talk about this. Because we've lived this. This is something we've lived our entire fucking lives.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's hard to put into words. It really is. But when you see what's going on today, like the way people are acting, like, man, goddamn, like, what the fuck is going on, man?
Yeah.
Like, the things you're saying, the things you're doing, you don't see that that's counterproductive. You destroy your own community. Why? Because the television told you to do so?
That's it. But anyway,
an inanimate object? What the fuck, man? But
But like you say, mate, we could be here all day. We could do a fucking 8-hour podcast, probably. Do you know what I mean? So, let's call it a fucking day. Let's say that's it.
Let's do it.
Everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you or listening, whatever. This is may go out on Podbean. It might be a bit too long to put on Podbean, but we'll definitely have it out on YouTube, and we'll be looking at different platforms to release it. So check it out. And I'm just gonna finish with one line, and you can say whatever you want after this, Will. But what the fuck's wrong with this world? That's right.
Every motherfucking thing is wrong right now. And we'll leave it at that, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This is Rattle the Cage. And that's it.
Nice.